because they've been there.
Did you have a hard time seeking, getting your parents' consent?
I spoke to them about it. I convinced them.
Well, you had to convince them.
I convinced them because
so there was a bit of,
my dad was a little leery about it.
Why? Do you mind telling us what his problem was?
My dad was my buddy. My dad's my buddy, and he wanted me by himself. And
so he didn't want you. It's not about the lady you're getting married to. He just didn't want you to get married to anyone.
No, I was very close to the family. And when we were close to the family, those days
the woman was coming to take you away.
Yes, it was a little difficult, but I was able to convince him that hey, I'm gonna still be around and stuff like that. So my wife it's okay. She's okay, but I had to convince them and get their blessing. You must do everything to get their blessing. If you don't get their blessing and they start fighting, they can fight you physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and frustrate.
That's your parents?
No, I mean whoever. If the in-laws don't approve, they'll go any angle to fight you. And if your spouse you're getting married to is not ready to fight with you, you're going to end up
fight for you.
It's going to be very difficult.
Do you think most of these mother-in-law issues has to do with the fact that there was no parental blessings before the marriage?
Yes. If there's no parental blessing, they can even say, they can speak statements like that, and because it's come from an authority, it carries weight. Honor your father and your mother. You can honor them, even if they are devilish, they are witches or whatever. You honor them because they carry on authority. So whatever you have to do to manipulate to get their blessing, do it to get their blessing, so that you don't end up having an accident in marriage.
I see. Samuel, I don't even have to ask you. I know you definitely be seeking your parents' blessings before.
Though I'm not married yet, I'm going to get those kind of pressure and other things. Wanting to see who the lady is and all that. And I'm like, before I introduce her, you have to be sure. I can't just introduce anybody to you just because you want to see someone. If I should introduce her to you right now and then later on we don't gel and there's a breakup, how would you feel and all that? Maybe by then you might be so interested in her that the next person I bring you might not like.
Exactly.
Yeah. So normally parents give much pressure when it comes to that. I want to see your girlfriend, I want to see your boyfriend and all that. When you do that, you pressurize the person to bring in the wrong person, who you might later on like, and then when they bring in the right person, you might go like, no, this girl is this girl is that, I prefer this to that, and brings a lot of problems. Even though I'm not yet married, I'm going to face some of this.
Convince them. You convince them. You have to convince your parents that she is good, mom. I think this.
So even if in the beginning there's a kind of block, or your parents are not happy, you don't just have to just take their word for it and just
no, you have to convince them.
You should try and
observe her, and then you tell the lady.
For how long?
Oh, it depends how. And tell the guy get close to her. Yeah. So you do it. My mom likes my wife to come to the house and then get around her. You don't want to come and sit in the kitchen and sit in the hall and start drinking juice and all of that. Come to her, hey, mom, what you saying? That kind of a thing. So if you start acting very up to the, and
so basically just form a relationship.
And use your head. Be smart, because you are entering into a family. You're going to marry not just the person but the whole family. So if they're against you, you are in a war.
Right, okay. Thank you very much for your time this morning, gentlemen. My guests have been Dr. Love, popularly known as Dr. Love. His real name is Dr. Benjamin Menu. He's from the Kingdom Life Cathedral, and also Marriage Made Simple. And I also had Samuel Awuni, who's a youth activist and also the executive director of Youth Eye Innovation Foundation. And we've been talking about seeking parental consent or blessings in choosing a spouse. This has been Living It, and of course it was proudly brought to you by Lipton Tea, the world's favorite tea brand, and also Malcolm Stores.